TV News at 7. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. We start off with judicial matters as the Federal High Court in Abuja affirmed the Nenadi Usman-Led Caretaker Committee as the legitimate leadership of the Labour Party. Justice Peter Lifu based his ruling on the Supreme Court judgment delivered on 4th of April, which recognized Nenadi Usman as the valid leader of the party. Senior reporter Celestina Area has details.
The court's ruling put to rest the leadership dispute within the Labour Party. Justice Peter Lifu ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to recognize the Nenadi Usman-Led Caretaker Committee as the party's valid leadership pending the conduct of a national convention. The suit was filed by Nenadi Usman against INEC, with Julius Abure and the Nigerian Labour Congress listed as defendants. In his judgment, the court held that evidence before it showed that Julius Abure's tenure as national chairman of the Labour Party had expired. Justice Lifu dismissed Abure's argument that the matter was an internal party affair and therefore not justiciable, ruling instead that the appointment of a caretaker committee was necessitated, arising from the directive of the Supreme Court. Julius Abure had earlier been removed as national chairman by the party's National Executive Committee following a prolonged leadership crisis. In response, the party constituted a 29-member caretaker committee chaired by former Minister of Finance Nenadi Usman. That decision followed an expanded stakeholders meeting held in Umuahia and hosted by Abia State Governor Alex Otti. The meeting was chaired by the party's 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi. Dissatisfied, Abure approached the Federal High Court insisting he was duly elected acting national chairman in March 2021 and later emerged national chairman at the party's convention in INEC in March 2024. While both the Federal High Court and the Court of Appeal initially ruled in Abure's favor, those decisions were overturned by the Supreme Court, which nullified the judgment of the two lower courts. Reacting to the ruling, Counsel to the Labour Party welcomed the decision, describing it as a reaffirmation of the Supreme Court's authority. The judgment effectively confirms the Nenadi Usman-Led Caretaker Committee as the recognized leadership of the Labour Party, pending a fresh national convention.
The party's INEC statutory members, led by Dr. Alex Otti, who is the highest statutory member of INEC, having been the man who is holding the highest political office on behalf of the party, they came together and resolved to vest their leadership in Dr. Esther Nenadi Usman as chairman of their National Caretaker Committee to help and facilitate a proper national convention. For the avoidance of doubt, the court also ordered that INEC should, as a matter of fact, recognize every correspondence from Dr. Nenadi Usman as the valid and the only recognized chairman of Labour Party.
The Supreme Court had upheld the appeal filed by the chairman and secretary of the Caretaker Committee, while it dismissed the cross appeal filed by Julius Abure. In the lead judgment prepared by Justice Ian Okoro, the court held that members of political party should always abide by the Constitution, guiding the party and political officers whose tenure has elapsed to endeavor to vacate office. Celestina Area, TVC News, Abuja.
In a swift reaction, the Julius Abure faction of the Labour Party has announced its decision to appeal the judgment of the Federal High Court. For the National Publicity Secretary, Abure, the judgment is a clear contradiction against the Supreme Court judgment, which clearly stated that no court has the power to appoint leadership for any political party, and that leadership issue is an internal affairs of the party. According to the party's spokesperson, the court refused the faction the opportunity to respond to issues raised in the counter affidavit filed by other parties and quickly adjourned for judgment. The Abure faction appealed to its members to remain calm, as the leadership will do everything within the laws to ensure that justice is served for the interest of the party. Let's talk to National Youth Leader of the Labour Party, Kennedy Hanotu, under the Abure leadership. Mr. Hanotu, thank you for joining us on the news this hour. Your faction is arguing that this court judgment contradicts the Supreme Court ruling that leadership of political parties is an internal affair. But the court also relied on that same Supreme Court judgment in affirming the Usman-Led Caretaker committee. What exactly would you say is your faction's strongest legal ground on appeal?
Well, good evening, Nifemi, and good evening, Nigerians. Let me use this opportunity to state clearly that when we lose the authority that the courts have that give judgment to the common people, that means we've lost Nigeria completely, and we've lost democracy completely. There is no way that someone that has not been a party member will come from outside and lead the party. It has never happened in the history of Nigeria, and Labour Party will not be the starting point. The judgment clearly today has been given by the court, but if you can cast your mind a little bit back, you remember that the similar judgment that they are celebrating today is the same judgment that the court gave Abure at the Federal High Court, and that judgment was appealed when they said that the court does not have jurisdiction to say anything about the leadership of the party. And of course, it's true, the Supreme Court judgment was so clear on it that any court in Nigeria does not have jurisdiction to tread in an area where angels, dread to tread. That means leadership of political parties is not open for any court to declare or to tell INEC what to do or what not to do. It is totally an internal affair of the party. And if you look at the CTC, we're expecting it, but if you were in court and you look at the reliefs that were sought by Nenadi, the court accepted, the Honorable Justice accepted that it is an
Well, we seem to have lost connection with the youth leader of the Labour Party under the Abure leadership. But in our first interview after the court victory, Nenadi Usman believes the court order has brought an end to the crisis in the Labour Party. She was a guest on TVC Midday News earlier today, where she asked all members to come together to strengthen the party ahead of the election. Senator Usman also gave reasons why their former presidential candidate Peter Obi defected to the ADC.
The most important thing we have to do now is, apart from reconciliation, of course, is to start organizing congresses right from the ward to the local government, state, and have a national convention. His Excellency Peter Obi, as a presidential hopeful, he's free to go into any political party he feels would give him the chance to run. And because, just like you said, this issue has been protracted. It's been long from one court to the other. If you remember, the first time all this happened, we even went as far as going to the Supreme Court. So it's been over a year that we've been going in and out of court. So I believe he must have lost patience and must have lost hope that maybe things could actually be put right, which may have been the reason why he moved. But of course, we wish him well, we respect his decision, and we always pray for him. But for the Labour Party, a political party is not built around one person. It's a party made up of different people from all over the country. So we will weather the storm and we'll come out stronger.
Well, Mr. Hanotu is back for this conversation. Senator Nenadi Usman did say that this judgment should mark the end of the Labour Party crisis. He's also called for unity ahead of the elections. Why is the faction choosing continued litigation over reconciliation? And is there any condition whatsoever under which you would accept a unity process pending the National Convention? Mr. Hanotu, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Well, I'm asking if there's any condition under which, any unity condition under which both factions, you see both factions working together ahead of your National Convention.
No, my brother, the party has opened to work with, all of them were welcomed by the party in 2023. Many of them that are fighting the party today, we are welcomed into the party. So the party is open to work with them. They don't have to dictate the terms. The party have called them to come back to the house and say whatever they want and what they desire from the party, and the party will give it to them. But to take the party from back door, it is not possible. As long as Nigerian judiciary is still working, and we still have hope that this court is not the last court. There is another higher court, appeal court is there, and the Supreme Court is there. We will get to the final determination of this matter. They celebrated the judgment of the Supreme Court and celebrating a lower court judgment. Why?
The court's ruling puts to rest the...
And it's a purchase judgment, I can say.
So it sounds like you are willing to work together, but the problem is who leads this unity party. But what happens before your appeal? And that's a big question, because the court expressly ordered INEC to recognize Nenadi Usman Caretaker Committee. Is the Abure faction vacating leadership in earnest, as we speak today?
Well, the voice is breaking anyway, but it's so unfortunate your voice is breaking, but I had part of your question, and I can tell you that the Labour Party will do everything possible to stay the judgment, because this is just the court of first instance, okay? So it will be appealed. They will hold on. Let them not be in a haste. Let them get to the Supreme Court. After that, we can now talk about INEC listening to them. But we are in Nigeria. Anything can happen. But no matter what happens, I can assure Nigerians that Labour Party will get to the end of this process and will come out victorious, because the lady on your studio is never known to Labour Party as a member in Kaduna State. In fact, he is the chairman of Labour Party coalition in ADC coalition in Kaduna. So I don't know what he's looking for in Labour Party. But whatever may be the case, she will not get whatever she's looking for from Labour Party. I can assure you that.
Mr. Hanotu, what I'm saying is that as of today, the court expressly ordered INEC to recognize the Nenadi Usman-led Caretaker Committee. Do you agree that based on this judgment, you ceased from occupying your role as national leader of the Labour Party pending the outcome of this appeal?
I remain the national leader of Labour Party until otherwise. There is no national convention held that have produced any other leader. So therefore, and it's in party constitution, INEC Electoral Act, there is only a valid national convention which the party conducted in 2024 March 27. They are running away from letting us talk about the convention. As long as we know that convention done in Inewi in March 27, 2024 is binding, is legal, no matter how, physically or it may not be looking good, but legally it is 100% correct. So I know that INEC will also look into the details and believe in processes. So we will send INEC our pre-notice and they will stay execution until this process is determined by the Supreme Court once again.
All right, we'll get back when you have that.
And if you can remember, the Supreme Court have determined this case and said that it's totally an internal affair of political party. And the party held their neck, and the INEC were present where the party adopted the National Convention. So I don't know what they are looking for.
We'll return when you have that stay of execution. I guess it's safe to go with what the court has ordered today. Kennedy Ahanotu, thank you so much for talking to us.